On April 5, 1933, Americans awoke to an astonishing headline, one that would ripple across every household, echo through every business, and change the foundation of the US economy forever. Owning gold is now a federal crime. In just 30 days, more than 3,600 tons of gold would be seized, taken directly from American citizens by their own government. Not at gunpoint, but with a presidential pen. The act would be branded as a rescue mission to save the collapsing economy. But was it a solution, or legalized robbery on a national scale? This is the chilling story behind Executive Order 6102, one of the most controversial government actions in American financial history. It's a story of economic desperation, fear, power, betrayal, and the mysterious vanishing of unimaginable wealth. Let's rewind to the moment when the US government declared war on gold, and the American people didn't even know it. In the early 20th century, gold wasn't just a luxury, it was money. Literal money. The US dollar was backed by gold under what was known as the gold standard. Every paper dollar in circulation had to be backed by physical gold held in government reserves. This meant citizens could actually exchange paper dollars for real gold coins or bullion at any time. For Americans, owning gold wasn't speculation, it was security. A hedge against inflation, a family inheritance, and a source of trust in the financial system. But as the Great Depression ravaged the country, this very system began to collapse. Banks were failing, unemployment soared, the stock market had crashed, bread lines stretched for blocks, and people began hoarding gold out of fear, removing it from circulation, hiding it in mattresses and coffee cans, or burying it in their backyards. This hoarding terrified the government. Without enough gold in active use, the Federal Reserve couldn't increase the money supply to stimulate the economy. And so, a controversial and unprecedented plan was born. In March 1933, Franklin Delano Roosevelt was inaugurated as the 32nd President of the United States. He came to power during the nation's darkest hour, promising hope through his New Deal, a sweeping series of government interventions aimed at rescuing the economy. But Roosevelt quickly realized that monetary policy, especially gold, was the biggest roadblock to recovery. The gold standard made it impossible for the government to print more money without physically holding more gold. And if people were hoarding it privately, it couldn't be used to back the growing financial demands of Roosevelt's New Deal programs. The president needed to unlock the nation's hidden gold, and fast. On April 5, 1933, President Roosevelt signed Executive Order 6102. The order stated, in no uncertain terms, that all Americans were required to turn in their gold coins, bullion, and certificates to the federal government. Failure to do so wasn't just frowned upon, it was punishable by a $10,000 fine, equivalent to over $200,000 today, and up to 10 years in federal prison. Americans had just 25 days to comply. Posters were put up in banks and post offices. Radio announcements spread the word. The message was simple: turn in your gold, get paid $20.67 per ounce, and help your country recover. The government promised fairness, but what most people didn't know was that this move had a hidden motive. By early May 1933, Americans had turned in over 3,600 tons of gold, a staggering haul valued at hundreds of millions of dollars at the time. But just months later, the deception became clear. In January 1934, Roosevelt signed the Gold Reserve Act, which immediately raised the price of gold from $20.67 to $35 per ounce. Overnight, the value of the gold confiscated from American citizens jumped by 69%, but that extra value didn't go to the people who had surrendered it. It went straight to the US Treasury. In effect, the government had bought gold low from its citizens under legal duress and sold it high to itself, creating instant profits used to fund the Federal Reserve and government spending. It was a bait and switch on a national scale, a brilliant economic strategy, or the perfect financial crime. Not everyone went quietly. Many Americans refused to turn in their gold, hiding it, smuggling it, or selling it overseas. Some defied the order on principle, others out of fear of future inflation. After all, gold had been reliable for centuries. The government began raiding safety deposit boxes under suspicion of hidden gold. Banks were forced to report suspicious withdrawals. Agents knocked on doors, demanding records. A new culture of monetary surveillance had begun. The most famous resistor, a man named Frederick Barber Campbell, who tried to transfer gold from one bank to another and sued the federal government. He lost, the courts upheld the constitutionality of the order, citing national emergency powers. And just like that, the individual right to own gold in the US was erased and would remain that way for the next 41 years. After the seizures, the government moved the massive stockpile of confiscated gold to secure vaults, including the newly built Fort Knox in Kentucky. Fort Knox became a symbol of wealth and mystery. The building was completed in 1936. With impenetrable walls, armed guards, and limited access, it became the most famous gold depository in the world. To this day, the exact amount of gold inside Fort Knox remains a secret, fueling countless conspiracy theories about its real contents or lack thereof. Some believe not all of the gold ever made it there. Others claim some was secretly sold off in international deals. There are even theories that Fort Knox has been empty for decades. What's undeniable is this: the gold once held by private citizens had become state property, and the government now had the flexibility to inflate the money supply. Fund was expand federal programs and permanently shift how America managed its economy for the average American. Executive Order 6102 became a dark reminder of just how easily personal assets could be stripped away in a time of crisis. Even after the Depression ended, gold ownership remained illegal for decades. It wasn't until 1974, under President Gerald Ford, that Americans could legally own gold again. By then, the damage and the precedent had already been done. Modern economists still debate whether Roosevelt's gold confiscation was necessary to stabilize the economy, or a strategic exploitation of fear that lined federal pockets. To some, it was genius. To others, it was tyranny wearing the mask of patriotism. In today's world of digital money, crypto, and inflation fears, Executive Order 6102 remains more relevant than ever. Many ask, could another government ever seize private assets under emergency powers? The answer: they already have, and not just in America. From Cyprus freezing bank accounts in 2013 to India's sudden demonetization in 2016, modern governments still exercise control over private wealth in times of financial instability. Gold confiscation may sound like ancient history, but it set a dangerous precedent. What the government did once, it can do again under new names, new laws, and new reasons. In 1933, Americans gave up their gold unwillingly, many under threat, all under pressure. They were told it was to save the economy. But history rarely remembers what they were promised. It remembers what was taken. Thank you for watching Crimes Through Time. If this story made you question the price of trust in government, give us a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the forgotten crimes that shaped our world. What would you have done in 1933? Stay informed, stay curious, stay free.